What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Scale Garage. In today's video, we're going to start building this AMG GT made by Revell. In the previous video, we unboxed it, went through all the kit contents, and now we're going to start working on the body today. The first major thing that needs to be done to this body is deepening the panel lines. So as you can see, the panel lines on this car are basically very shallow. And if panel lines are very shallow, there's the risk that after adding like a bunch of paint, keep in mind primer, 3 coats of the actual color, and clear coat, that the panel lines will be basically invisible. So to do this, I'm using the back of an X-Acto blade. You could use the actual panel scribing tool since it's actually, meant for that. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this still works. So this is a relatively tedious process, as you are just going through each line and literally just carving it over and over and over, but you'll be happy you did it in the end. On all of these models, there's like an extra layer of plastic that sits on the inner side of the fender. In real life, you would roll this part of your fender, but since it's just plastic, I like to sand it off with a Dremel. Doing this basically allows me to get better fitment. And as you can see with this little demonstration, that's basically what the fitment's looking like. Believe it or not, this body actually has 0 mold lines. Good job, Revell. I still decided to go over the body with 800 grit sandpaper just so the primer can adhere better, and to correct some of the spots where I accidentally scratched the body, deepening the panel lines. With the body being scribed and sanded, I can move over to installing the front bumper and the rear bumper, and to do this, I'm just using regular super glue. With the bumpers being installed, that's all the prep that needs to be done, and now we can move over to paint. To prime the body, I'm using this Mission Models primer, and I hit the body with around 2 coats of primer. One thing that I quickly noticed about using this primer is that it takes a long time for the primer to actually cover the body. I'm not sure if I'm not thinning it properly or if the primer just actually takes a long time to cover, but nevertheless, I use this to prime the body. Another reason that the primer could be acting this way is because the body is bright yellow. I mean, it is hard to cover something that's bright as the sun, so that could be why it needs a lot of primer just to actually fully cover the body. But let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below. For the second coat, I decided to turn up the PSI and make the paint just a little bit thinner to try and get a heavier coat. And yes, I am using a barbecue sauce container to hold the body. Now that the body has been primed, yes, it's not 100% coverage, but it's enough to get the job done. I decided that I'm going to paint the body Tamiya X4 blue. I hit the body with 3 coats, and one thing I noticed was after each coat, the blue got darker and darker. As you'll see, after the first coat, that was the blue that I was aiming for. It's kind of like a lightish kind of blue, and towards the end of it, it's basically like 3 shades darker than that. And although that's not the blue I was really wanting, it does look fine and I'm okay with it. It's cool. One thing I like about this blue, or all Tamiya colors in general, is that they lay very nicely and it's not a struggle to basically get the entire body to be the color you're trying to paint. Moving over to the third coat, you can see that the body is now a whole lot darker. I wonder if I mixed the color maybe with like white or silver, it would have stayed that bright blue, but nevertheless, it's okay. Following the body, a few parts such as the hood, front grille, and side vents needed to be painted as well.